Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. I've seen your comments recommending Electric Light Orchestra, and it wasn't until looking into them a little bit more that I realized I've heard ELO before in the intro of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I remember that introduction being really fun and dancey and full of action, so I want to take a deep dive now into the same song, Mr. Blue Sky, and check out the voice. Let's get to it. How happy feeling this song is. Like, even the words are really, really happy. That makes me super happy. It definitely has an up feel in all of the beats instead of feeling like it's like super low, bassy pulling down and grounding. It has a feeling of popping up. I like the feeling of, it feels both poppy yet rock at the same time. And of course, I know Electric Light Orchestra, when looking into the name more, I saw it's a combination of electronic music and a light orchestra, so like a smaller orchestra essentially, which I think is super awesome. I want to go back to the beginning. There were a few elements that really made me think Beatles and also Jethro Tull. I dig that little intro. It sounds like an announcer on a radio, maybe sort of an old-timey radio. It's kind of a cool way to draw us into the song. It also made me wonder in the first few seconds if I had my headphones on the right setting. Just so you know, I was like, oh no, did I get them on the wrong setting? Fun way to trick. I think that one of the reasons this reminds me a little bit of Jethro Tull is because of the way there's a lot of little slides off of words, and there's a slight folky storytelling approach vocally. Let's go back just a little bit. Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud in sight. Especially on cloud, the way it's doing a slide off of that. And sun is shining. It sounds like on each of those, there's a little slide off of each of them. They get a little punch. Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud in sight. It stopped raining. Everybody's in the play. And don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Hey. I love that they added sounds of breath in there. That's really cool. And they obviously did a mixing of it afterwards into the whole bit. I think that they recorded those breaths really close to the mic too. You can hear like a different proximity of that. No, it's a beautiful new day. Hey. So it's also the A vowel in there. It's much more forward. Has a little more nasality in it too. And that's another thing that reminds me a little bit of Jethro Tull. Anyhow, Jeff, I believe is the lead singer's name. I'm hearing similarities there, but then there's some more stuff. We'll just keep going. Running down the avenue, see how the sun shines brightly in the city, on the streets where once was pitted, Mr. Blue sky is living in the day. Hey. So I'm liking this combination of essentially really accented rhythmic bits of vocal lines, ba, 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 that kind of thing. And then you have these longer lines that come out, and often those longer lines are actually more accented with an extra harmony underneath as well, which feels a little bit Beatles.
Why you had to hide away for so long? Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long.
This is so good in good headphones. So I'm delighted by the spatialization that they've chosen here. It feels like it kind of goes low and then up the sides and then forward again. And it's so cool. I'll go back and explain as it's happening.
Mr. Blue Sky.
I love, so that I think is a parallel double octave. It sounded like he was 2 octaves below with one of those voices. That one feels fairly centered, but a little far away.
Please tell us why.
And then Please Tell Us Why is panned right and left on the 2 voices really, really hard, and they're very close to the microphone as well.
You had to hide away for
And that feels a little higher.
Where did we?
And then the so long echo, that one happened up high too. It's just super cool. Like these voices are pinging from everywhere, and you can hear how close they've recorded to the microphone too. It's fun. They feel clear and personal and kind of like pop rocks where you get like little sparks here and there, which is really fun.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
It's so happy. I really like it. It's very positive. It's like, hey, why'd you have to hide away for so long? But I'm really happy the blue sky's out today. This is the way it feels. Super peppy. I love optimistic music. I like the way that they can just make our days better. It's so good. Music can change your life. It can change the way you perceive any sort of difficult moment that's coming your way. Like if you had the most terrible day about to happen, but you listen to this song first, you'd be in a better state of mind to take it on. Anyhow, I really, really, really dig this. And I also wanted to suggest that if y'all want really awesome headphones, I have a link down below in the About section of this video to Sweetwater. There's some gear that I recommend on that page, including lots of really awesome headphones. And I can't say enough good about the experience you can get with a nice set of headphones. This in the TV in that intro, it was fun. You were vibing along. You were seeing a lot of action happening. But now I feel like I'm inside of their creation. And it's so cool to experience music in that way. Okay, one more time. I'm going to go back to that chorus area because it's so fun.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
The octave choices here are interesting. I love the orchestra with this. You guys know me. You know that I love having orchestra with electronic sound. So of course, ELO is the perfect combination. Of course, I like symphonic metal too. But anyhow, I like the way that string bed, when it came up, strings often have these swells of emotions that they'll conduct in us, essentially. They pull at your heartstrings, right? Heartstrings are called that, I think, sometimes because of string instruments. There might be a different reason for that word developing the way it did, but I think of it as like a string that's being played, because the vibration of a string can make your heart go pitter-patter a little faster. The swells can make you feel more swelling with various kinds of emotions, and it's really nice to have that underneath an instrumental solo. One more time. Right, soft at first, and then they swell right through there. I think that having a lot of bass in other instruments that has space between it and has, again, like a rhythmic approach that has a quick attack, quick fade, so it feels a little more boink, 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 instead of right? It feels light and fun and peppy instead of heavy in the bass. And if you have that, it keeps that rhythmic integrity going while you have these long, broad swaths of strings. And so you get the emotional swell, but you get fun underneath it at the same time. It's a cool combo.
Hey, you with the pretty face. Welcome to the human race. A celebration, Mr. Blue Sky's up there waiting. And today is the day we've waited for. Oh, Mr. Blue Sky.
Aw, I love that. And today is the day we've waited for. Oh man, if you guys are in the premiere with me, tell me what you're looking forward to today, because I feel like every single day can be the day we've waited for. This song just has so much positivity. I love it.
Blue skies up there waiting, and today is the day we've waited for. Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you.
One more time on that part. That was cool. I liked the harmonies, but I also liked the way that your string section was actually keeping that rhythmic integrity there. We didn't have as much in the bass. It was happening in the strings instead, so that helped the whole texture overall lightened up even more.
Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue.
It's really cool. Again, I have very strong right and left in the vocals. It's fun to be able to separate the voices a little bit more and hear what they're doing. But overall, the texture here changed so much because of those strings and that lighter attack on them. They're not doing a full pizzicato where they're plucking the string, but they're just doing a very light, like a bouncy bowing. And that helps to give it a very, very light attack. It's not like they're not striking the strings, right? It's just very, very light and soft on the string and very short. And you'll listen that the bass it happens every now and then. It sounds like mostly on downbeats, but we have a lot less bass that's happening there. Just something essentially to keep us grounded every now and then. That allows us to also listen to those layers of vocals. It makes more space for them.
Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you.
I think that they've got doubles on every one of the parts. And there's one that's more central, one right, one left. I think that they've doubled this in their recording as well, which sounds really cool. It gives it a little bit of a thicker sound. They might have done more than double too. It's pretty vocals, pretty harmonies. And I like the way that all of the voices just sound very natural. It's not, it doesn't feel like they're trying to go for something heavy, dramatic. It's definitely not opera, right? But that might be why it also feels a little more towards like a Jethro Tull kind of feeling. A lot of times there's a certain lightness and naturalness about the way he approaches things. There's a lot of other artists that this is ringing a bell for as well.
Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what what you do. Everybody smiles at you.
Was that in the intro? I don't remember. I feel like I would have noticed that really keenly in the intro of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I don't know. Maybe it was there and it was just quieter or something, or I was caught up by like a weird alien creature attacking the cast. Anyhow, that was really surprising. I wasn't expecting it. Very synthesized. I wonder what kind of instrument they were sending their voice through. I'm not sure what it was exactly. There's lots of different things that it could be. Also, I heard what sounded like a cowbell, and I read about this ahead of time. I think that they make a sound that's like a cowbell, but it's actually on a fire extinguisher, which totally cracks me up. We're like, we need cowbell. We don't have a cowbell. Fire extinguisher? Like, how did that come into play? When did that happen? When did they decide the thing that's missing from this song is a fire extinguisher? I love it. Okay, going to go back again. I like this film. And there's a fire extinguisher. I also read at some point, I believe that one of their concerts they entered through a spaceship, which looks like, I wonder if it looks like the album cover here. I'm not sure. I don't know what that spaceship looked like, but apparently a lot of people thought it looked like a hamburger, which is funny. I don't know how you make a spaceship look like a hamburger. They're both round, but that's about it. But it makes sense that they would have this synthesized voice in here now because that feels kind of spacey. And especially back then, that robotic sound, that would be considered super, super science fiction-y. I'm going to go back just a little bit. One more time. Oh man, I was just thinking it would be really fun to look at this sound in the vocal in Isotope RX. And if I can find a version of that vocal and show you how this looks inside of a spectrogram, so you can see the visualization of the frequencies versus just maybe some normal harmonies that they've sung, I'll see if I can put that together for you. Okay? Okay. I don't know if it'll be in this video or if I'll find it and later try and make a short on it. I'll just try and find it for y'all. Okay? I'm totally digging the choir. Oh, cool. I like the way that there was such a quick change in the texture right there. That choir with this, very dark vowel sounded, very gothic, very serious for a little bit. It was one of the most serious parts of the entire song, just because of this dark voweled choir. That's so cool. I like the way that they're tumbling the words into the next verse so that they have this overlap and immediately take you into the next texture. It keeps things super exciting as you're rolling along. Also, the enunciation has been fantastic. Even things like remember, the way that he's singing through his consonants really well, it makes it very easy to understand.
Now his hand is on your shoulder, never mind. I remember you this, I remember
I like that harmony too. I like the so long. There's like a little ornamentation in that one.
Mr. Blue Skies, tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue Skies, so pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do.
This also reminds me of the album Pet Sounds some, in the way that we have some of the vocal layering and playing around with visualization of the sounds.
Hey there, Mr. Blue Skies, so pleased to.
I just love that little sky. There's a few different harmonies that happen on that, and they're all saying sky and sliding off of it like, oh, the sky is wonderful.
Be with you, look around, where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue Skies, so pleased to be with you.
It's so
See
good.
what you do.
Those little skies are so happy. One more time.
To hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue Skies, so pleased to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you.
There's a lovely little soprano counter melody in there, right? That was just like, oh, pretty. I like that they've given the choir this almost scatty moment where they get to just sing on syllables, and they have some fun pep in their lines as well as having beautiful melodies. It's like there's just some really lovely elements of composition throughout here. It's very classical. Is that the next song? I think that's the next song, but I'm not sure. Are we transition? I guess we still have like a minute and 20 seconds left, I guess. Is this transition music? I don't know. Okay, so I do think this is a continuation of the same song. It's just very progressive in nature. It's not ending the way I expect a song on the radio to end. Maybe there was a radio cut that actually did end it in that other spot. I'm not sure. But I feel like this entire section is talking about the rays of sunshine coming out and like the birds and the bees and the gorgeous flowers. It's just, you get this idea of a beautiful landscape from it, which is gorgeous. Beautiful strings and harmonies in there. I liked the piano as well. I felt like there was a strong piano presence. I'm going to go back a little bit. All right, lots of arpeggiation through this too. Oh, and the adjustments to the tempo throughout, I think, are super fun. It gives you an idea of it being a little more cinematic. Maybe that's part of the reason I think that I had like images coming to mind of how they might have thought about this kind of score. It makes me think Disney too. More arpeggiation from the piano again. definitive ending. Okay, so FYI, that is the end of this track. I remember because I saw something in the notes about please turn me over in a synthesized sound, which was basically to flip the record over, which is really funny. Also, this feels definitively over because all of the instruments are hanging out on the tonic, so like that root chord, or just the root note. They've all come back to it, and they're like, hey, we're done. Everybody, same pitch, different octaves, but yes. That's clever. Ha! I love how happy that is. This is like the song that you want to wake up to in the morning, maybe along with Boston, right? This idea of starting your day well with music, enjoying it, letting music be something that helps power you through any sort of difficult times you might face. I just love the power of music. And by the way, if you want to listen to some Jethro Tull now and see if you can hear those similarities I was talking about, you can check that out in a playlist over here. May you fall more in love with music every day.